Watch Coco Gauff's heartfelt tribute to Chris Evert after shocking health revelation. Tennis is a sport of explosive forehands, breathtaking rallies, roaring crowds, and moments of glory that define generations. Yet, every so often, the game produces a moment not of power or precision, but of pure humanity, a moment that reminds the world that behind every victory, behind every trophy, behind every legend, there's a heart that beats, feels, and breaks just like anyone else's. This week, that moment came when shocking news about Chris Evert's health sent a tremor across the tennis world. Fans froze. Broadcasters paused. Social media erupted in sadness and disbelief. But in the middle of this emotional storm, one voice rose above the noise. Coco Gauff's heartfelt tribute, a message so genuine and moving that it captured the soul of the sport. Her words were not just a statement. They were a bridge spanning generations. A young champion saluting the greatness and humanity of a legend who paved the way. What unfolded next was a tidal wave of love, unity, and reflection that the tennis world will remember for years. The health revelation that shook the court of public emotion when news broke that Chris Evert, a titan of tennis, an 18-time Grand Slam champion, a symbol of discipline and elegance, was facing a serious new health challenge. The sports world stopped in collective shock. This wasn't just any update. This was about a woman who had shaped the sport's identity, who had carried it through eras of evolution, rivalry, and revolution. Chris Evert isn't simply a retired champion. She is a foundation stone of women's tennis. The sadness hit hard. Even harder because Evert has already faced health battles in recent years, displaying resilience that awed fans and competitors alike. But this new revelation fell heavier, forcing players and fans to confront the fragility of even the strongest icons. And that is when Coco Gauff stepped forward. Coco Gauff's tribute. A young champion speaks with an old soul. Coco Gauff may be only in her early 20s, but her maturity, on and off the court, has long been one of her greatest strengths. Moments after the news broke, she posted a tribute that quickly went viral around the world. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't polished PR. It was raw, emotional, honest. Her words read, "Chris Evert has always been more than a legend to me. She has been a guide, a light, and someone whose kindness changed the way I see the sport. Whatever she is facing, she is not facing it alone. We love you, Chris." In those few sentences, Coco conveyed respect, gratitude, pain, hope, and above all, unity. It was a kind of tribute that reminds the world why Coco Gauff isn't just a star. She is a symbol of leadership for a new generation, a connection rooted in history, legacy, and quiet influence. The bond between Coco Gauff and Chris Evert isn't a headline-driven relationship. It's not based on flashy photo shoots or constant public appearances. Instead, it's based on subtle but powerful influence. Chris Evert has supported Coco since her youth. Long before Gauff dazzled the world at Wimbledon, long before she lifted her first Grand Slam trophy, long before she became the face of the future of tennis, Evert saw something in Coco, potential, sure, but also character. She praised Gauff's composure, her mental strength, her maturity. She spoke about her with a warmth that only comes when you recognize a young athlete who not only has talent, but also integrity. Gauff never forgot that. So when she learned that the trailblazer who would quietly encourage her was facing another battle, her heart responded. Her tribute wasn't a message from a star to a legend. It was a message from a young woman to someone she cared about. Why Coco's tribute hit so deeply? The impact of Coco's message wasn't just due to who she is, but what she represents. Coco Gauff stands at the intersection of generations. She is young enough to embody the future. She is wise enough to honor the past. She is successful enough to be admired. She is grounded enough to stay humble. Her tribute to Evert served as a reminder that tennis doesn't just produce champions. It produces connections that transcend rankings, age, and eras. Her message held a special type of weight because Evert inspired millions. Because Coco is inspiring millions now. And because one generation's respect for another creates a legacy that lasts forever. Fans react, a ripple of emotion across the globe. The moment Coco posted her tribute, a wave of support poured in like a rising tide. Fans from every corner of the world echoed her words, sharing, their memories of Evert's legendary matches, their own admiration for Gauff, their prayers and well wishes, their gratitude for both icons. Comments like, "Chris is the reason I picked up a racket. Coco remind me of Evert's grace. This tribute made me cry. Thank you, Coco." The tribute became more than a message. It became a collective embrace of Chris Evert, a reminder that even facing hardship, she remains deeply and endlessly loved. The power of seeing legends as humans. Tennis legends are often frozen in time by their greatness. We remember Evert lifting trophies with calm poise. We remember her composed intensity. We remember her unshakable focus. We remember her rivalries with Martina Navratilova, rivalries so iconic they shaped the sport's narrative. But behind a legend is a human being, someone who hurts, someone who fears, someone who needs support like anyone else. Coco's tribute cut through the glamour and revealed something simple. Even the greatest champions are vulnerable, and that vulnerability deserves compassion, a moment that bridges the past and the future. Chris Evert symbolizes the era that built the foundation of today's game. Coco Gauff represents a new wave redefining the sport's identity. Their connection is not just emotional, it's symbolic. Everett's generation fought for recognition, equal pay, respect, professionalism, opportunity. Gauff's generation benefits from that fight, and Coco knows it. Her tribute was not just a message of sympathy. The heart of the sport, humanity over headlines. Tennis fans live for drama, rivalries, upsets, five-set thrillers. But some moments are deeper than wins and losses. Coco Gauff's tribute to Evert reminded the world that tennis players feel pain, legends need support, champions care for one another, and no matter how bright the lights get, the sport is built on human connection. This wasn't just a headline, it was a pulse. A heartbeat felt across nations. A reminder that fame and skill do not shield someone from struggle or fear. A reminder that kindness remains the most powerful gesture of all. Conclusion, a tribute that will be remembered for years. In a world overflowing with noise, Coco Gauff's message stood out because it was real. It was heartfelt, intimate, respectful, hopeful, and profoundly moving. It revealed who Coco is, not just a tennis champion, but a champion of humanity. And it reminded the world who Chris Evert has always been, not just a legend, but a symbol of strength, dignity, and resilience. As the tennis community stands united in support of Evert, Coco's tribute will remain a shining moment, one that reflects the very best of the sport. Not the power, not the speed, not the tournaments won, but the compassion that unites one generation of champions with the next. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.